Hi guys, it's Michelle back again. I've just got back and had a look at my YouTube tutorial and lots of lovely comments. Thank you so much. A couple of people having a few challenges, so I just wanted to hop on quickly and see if I could help those of you that are having troubles with it. I didn't realise that file folders were different all around the world, but we probably should have guessed because everything is different everywhere you go, isn't it? So in New Zealand these are just standard foolscap file folders that I think most of us would have. So for those of you that don't have them, I'm really sorry, I didn't realise that there was such differences. I've taken one, and that's our foolscap measurements, and done the measurements there. So if you pause this, you can get those measurements there, and that's the height of the file folder there. I won't read it out because I'll just confuse myself. The inches are as close as I can make it out to be. My apologies, I'm not that hot on inches because I am used to centimetres, so I'm still learning that. So as I said, those were the standard file folders that we have. So then I went and had a look through the drawers, and I found these ones which had a tab like so. And so I made some of those because I didn't want to use these. I've got another plan for these ones out of just some craft ones. So I just chopped them up to make them to see, and you can see there how I did that just by tracing around the tab, and made a little file folder. Here it is. So I'll put it onto that yellow, it might be easy to see. So that was just with all the different tabs, and if you were going to make one like that, and these are the types of file folders you had, remember you could just measure your size around the tab to suit however big you want it and where you want the tab to sit in terms of the book. So you can see I've got them in quite random places, but I would plan that better if I was using that type of file folder. So if you've got them like that, exactly the same making as on the previous one, same shapes. The original middle of the file folder is still there, that joined for the top loading pocket, and then the overhang at the back there for the tab. So those three then would be stuck together exactly the same as the first tutorial for those tabs. So I hope that if you've got those ones, that addresses how you would do that. And when I did this one, which might be why there's confusion, this was made with the file folder that I showed you, just like this. So I then cut those tabs myself because I didn't have anything else. So that's how I made that. So just to answer that one, so that's that. So then what did I do? Oh, then I found these guys, and I'm wondering if this is what you're meaning, which is why it's becoming a bit more complicated. You've got the tab there, but you've also got the undercut here. So I'm going to call this the undercut tab, and then this is the tab. So I have then made a couple out of that style, which is, voila, here. So I've just used the undercut and left it there. If I wanted it to be bigger, and if you do, you could just add a piece of card on the front to give you that extra there. I quite like the undercuts showing, so I'm hoping that you can see that. Let me just take it up to camera. See, there's the undercut there. And then that goes through to the middle, which is where the top loading pocket is here. Just the same as the previous one. And then when I flip it over, here's where I join my two file folders together. So I've got the tab out, and there's my undercut running through there. Again, there's my top loading pocket. There's my two file folders joining with my undercut and my tab, and there it is. So in fact, I've got the decorative side on the inside, which is the outside of your file folder. So I've turned it inside out. That might be part of the problem. So that is that. The other thing I did, I want to show you. So I've cut out of some manila folders some of these little undercuts and tabs, and I'm thinking that you might have some that are tops and some that are bottoms. So I'm using what I would think would be a top, two tops and one bottom. and I'm just going to see how that goes. So I would take my middle point of the file folder, and I'm going to take that outer edge just there, and I'm going to tuck that over, fold that in half. So I'm going to leave my undercut here. Okay, and then match that point there again, so I'm going to have my tab hanging over, folded along the top and down. So now I've got that. I've got an undercut, space for a top loading pocket, and a tab sticking out. So that is going to be exactly what I'm going to do with all of these. So just the same thing, my outer edge here, so the two edges of the file folder that meet, those are the edges that are going to be folded across to meet my middle. Okay, so it's that. That's my middle point, and those two edges there of my file folder that join are going to both come across, that one, and now that one, and they're going to meet. And so again, we've got an undercut, we've got the middle, and we've got the tab. Once again, there's my file folder. I might try and do it so you're looking down on this one. Can I be that clever? I'm not sure I can fold upwards. We'll see. So it's the exact same shape. That's the original middle of the file folder, tabbed right into there, where they meet there, and then an undercut and a tab. So I've now got two like that and one like that. So I would just contrast them, whichever way they are. So if you're using tops and bottoms, I would just flip them. So now I've got a tab here, and I've got a tab at the bottom and a tab at the bottom. So if I was going to, yeah, I can do that. So I will then show you, once again, just take your glue and your L shape there to create your top loading pocket. Come to the back, and once again I'll do that with a pencil like that, a U, a bit of a wonky pencil line, but that's okay, eh? And these spuns here, all these folds, which I'm looking at there and there, those are all the spines, so we want them to meet as tidy as possible. So just try and look down on it and line it up nicely. That's not happening. I'm just going to get my head in the way if I lean over too far. So I'm lining up this inside spine, and then all my tabs out here. I'm not lining up that side, I'm lining up this one. Okay, so once again, just check it. I've got a tab here and a tab there, so I'm going to put a tab down the bottom. So same again, I'm just going to do my U shape there and there and there. Again, I would use wet glue for this part, but I'm just doing it nice and quickly just to show you, and try and line it up reasonably nicely, lining up my spine. All my tabs can all hang off the side. And then if you have a look, what I have deliberately done is made that. Because if somebody's saying that, because somebody had said that they had a mess, and I wondered if that might be what it is. The two top loading pockets here haven't yet been glued, so it can be done at the beginning or it can be done at the end. It's not going to matter at all. So there is one of the top loading pockets, and that's already glued, and then this one is not glued yet. So again, I'm going to do just that area there, same again. There's my spine. Right, so I've got that top loading, and here I've got a side loading pocket. Up here I've got a top loading pocket, side and a top. And that's it. I would suggest smaller tags. They are a bit big and ugly, aren't they? So I hope that that makes it a little bit easier. I would of course do some corner rounding to make those a little bit prettier. And certainly they're going to be there. But that's hopefully covered all the different kinds of file folders that I can imagine that we've got out there in the world. It could be wrong. If you have got a different file folder, then do feel free to take a photo of it and private message me that photo, or send it to my email address, which I've got somewhere loaded up, thepaperaddiction@extra.co.nz. Feel free to show me a picture, because I'm sure that we can easily make something cool out of it. So hopefully that's covered the file folders that you've all got. Again, if you have any further questions, just please do feel free to ask me, and I will see what we can do. And I've got now a wee stash of file folders, so you'll have to come back and see what on earth I make with all these little file folder minis. So if you would like a base, I might have to start giving away some of these bases, and so you guys can have a play. Let me know. Thanks for your interest, and thank you again for all those wonderful, wonderful comments. I really, just love it, love it, love it, love it. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you really soon. Bye now.